5 on Your Side at 10 starts now.
Rebuilding from devastation.
We are in the sense of severe survival. This looks like Katrina 2.0.
Tonight, the new community call to action to help shape the future of North St. Louis.
Warmer than average. That's the trend heading into the first couple of weeks of October. Tonight, we're searching for any rain chances as this dry stretch continues.
Our top story, a crime crisis in a college town.
It's crushing to think that that level of violence is there.
Tonight, the demands for change following the deadly shooting of a student athlete just blocks from the Mizzou campus. The deadly violence in downtown Columbia, Missouri broke out during homecoming weekend for the University of Missouri. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. MU's president says crime off campus has reached a crisis point. 5 on Your Side's Andy Kroll is looking into the growing concerns in a city where thousands of St. Louis students attend school. Annie.
Mike and Kelly, tonight, 23-year-old Misael Kovarobis faces several charges. Police say he fired into a crowd early Saturday morning outside a popular bar, killing a college volleyball player and injuring 2 other people.
We keep our campus very safe. We need to make sure that downtown region and the rest of Columbia is safe as well.
That's how University of Missouri-Columbia President Moon Choi felt less than 72 hours after 3 people were shot downtown just before 2 a.m. on Saturday. It was Ayanna Williams, a senior at Stevens College and a former member of her collegiate volleyball team, who police say was killed when 11 shots rang out on East Broadway.
Her family now is preparing for her funeral instead of her graduation to become a nurse.
Williams received multiple scholarships and was a passionate dancer besides pursuing a career in healthcare. This happened only hours before Mizzou's homecoming parade was set to start downtown, which added insult to injury in the eyes of Ginger Imster, president of the largest Mizzou alumni chapter in the world here in St. Louis.
When parents send their child to a school, they are going to for whatever academic program has attracted them and for whatever cultural experience that university offers. But parents, there's also this implied contract between that surrounding community and campus that their child will be safe.
President Choi wrote a letter this weekend that fired up alums and people in the area, calling out more policing and a crackdown on homeless encampments in Columbia.
I want to go back to what I'm hearing from parents and students about being accosted by homeless individuals that while they're walking to class, especially walking back home later at night. These are issues that we face on the campus.
President Choi also said Monday they're forming a crime task force amongst leaders at the surrounding Columbia universities, along with local politicians and law enforcement.
Where Choi's letter really hammered home the notion that these are kids who are in our community, whether they grew up here or they didn't, they should feel safe here.
And Governor Mike Kehoe recently spoke to Choi about what changes can be made since it's such a crucial part of the state with the flagship university. He said any concrete plans are still in the works.
Right now, police are looking for the man who fled police in a stolen car with a 2-year-old child inside. This prompted an Amber Alert earlier tonight. Sunset Hills police now tell us that officers spotted Jacob Putnam, who had felony warrants, trying to jump a stolen pickup truck on Kennerly Road. Putnam saw police, then jumped in the friend's car with the child inside and took off. That child was later found safe in South St. Louis. The car was recovered. Putnam is now wanted on kidnapping and child endangerment charges. If you see him, you're asked to call police.
Tonight, a 17-year-old is in juvenile custody on first-degree murder charges in connection to a deadly shooting at a North St. Louis Schnucks. The shooting happened last Sunday at the store on Natural Bridge and Union. 20-year-old Henry Armstrong died. Police say the shooting stemmed from a fight. Tonight, a truck driver from Louisiana is in custody, awaiting charges in a deadly chain reaction crash in Jefferson County. 3 people died in yesterday's crash on I-55 that's just south of Highway 67 in Festus. Police say the truck driver was distracted when he plowed into slowing traffic. A Peevely woman was killed, along with 2 other women from Tennessee.
All right, turning now to the weather impact forecast. It's still dry and hot across St. Louis. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell says our summer-like September will linger into October, right, Scott?
That's right, but the one thing we don't have is that humidity that typically when you get into the upper 80s and lower 90s, it's that sticky feel. We don't have that. The air is very dry. That's part of the problem why we are so dry. We can't seem to squeeze out a whole lot of rain. You look back at this month, sure, we had a few days where it was really comfortable. Then we heated up into the 90s. 90s. We got comfortable again for a few days last week, and now we're back up, ending the month well above average. Still 74 degrees in St. Louis right now. That's pretty close to our average high for this time of year. Skies remain mostly clear, and in some of the outlying areas, we're already close to 60 degrees right now. That includes down in Salem, Missouri. Over into Effingham and Litchfield, you're looking at 64, 65 degrees. I think tomorrow morning, low 60s in town, 50s away from town. Skies should be mostly clear tomorrow afternoon. But here's the thing, we're going to keep this warm trend going into October. It will start quite warm. We still can't find rain chances going into the weekend, probably into the first part of next week, and it's still warmer than average indefinitely at this point. We'll see in a few minutes. We will talk about the fall foliage that's beginning across the region.
And Scott, it's been nearly 5 months since that devastating tornado ravaged North St. Louis. Many of those impacted are still waiting for adequate resources to rebuild their properties and their lives.
As 5 on your side's Brent Solomon explains, city leaders are sending out a call for everyday people to join them in designing a plan for long-term recovery.
Even in the midst of struggle.
My plumbing is messed up. I use a generator, for electricity.
Tornado survivor Larry Gray is at Newstead in Ashland serving up meals for other survivors. He's been at it every day since the tornado.
People keep bringing me the stuff to do it, brother. You know what I mean? They want me to keep, somebody to keep doing this.
Because the need is still great. Nearly 5 months later.
FEMA was putting them up for a while in motels and stuff, but pretty soon that's going to be gone. That's nothing, long lasting. So those people are going to be out in the street.
Right now, the city of St. Louis is recruiting community advocates to join them in a recovery plan, guiding how investment and growth should take shape over the next decade. It's called Plan STL. Those selected will commit 3 to 5 hours a month over a 1-year period to make sure the city's plans reflect the voice of the people.
Seeing this makes me want to cry every day because this was a thriving laundromat business. People stayed there. I know people that stayed there.
For Pancho Rucker, it's personal. He grew up in North City.
There are people still staying in these dilapidated houses. These people have nowhere to go.
He credits grassroots organizations for meeting the needs of survivors right away and believes the Plan STL initiative could fulfill a big need if investment is indeed top of mind.
We are in the sense of severe survival. This looks like Katrina 2.0. Come out here and talk to these people and see what it is. Breathe the same air that they breathe. If not, you'll never understand where we come from, even when there are citizen committees.
And those selected for Plan STL will get to work this fall. You can find a link to the application when you visit this story on KSDK.com. And by the way, the deadline is October 13th.
I need you to evacuate your home. The house next door is on fire. It's fully engulfed.
Scary moments this morning in Wildwood. Body cam footage captured the moments a St. Louis County police officer helped a woman with a walker get out of harm's way. She was unaware her neighbor's townhome was on fire. That fire started around 9 this morning in the garage of one home. It quickly spread to an adjoining home. Both sustained damage. The cause is under investigation. 2 firefighters suffered minor injuries, one taken to the hospital, the other was treated at the scene.
Tonight, 2 local lawmakers are accusing each other of assault. State Senator Angela Mosley, her sister Rochelle Walton Gray, and their husbands have filed a lawsuit against St. Louis County Councilwoman Shalonda Webb. They claim Webb physically attacked them last week at a town hall in Bellefontaine Neighbors. Webb issued a statement today saying Mosley attacked her, and she intends to press charges. She also filed for a restraining order.
Federal mediators did not make a difference in the Boeing strike negotiations as both sides were back at the bargaining table today. The union says the company continues to offer a contract they've rejected 3 times. It's a 5-year deal, including a 45% wage increase and a $4,000 signing bonus. The union added that if Boeing wanted to get a deal done, it should have agreed to the member-approved contract they voted on last week.
My hope is we've at least presented something to the table saying, hey, we're ready to go back to work. Here's some, you guys have been wondering what we want. Well, this is it.
In a statement, Boeing Vice President Dan Gillian said, quote, "The union continues to mislead its members by inflating their expectations, promising outcomes that they know are not realistic and are not aligned with the current market realities." The union fired back, saying in part, quote, "It is clear the company was completely unprepared to resolve this strike."
Tonight, new debate over a dead project to build a new Metrolink track in St. Louis. Voters approved the project 8 years ago, but not a single rail has been laid. The new line would have connected North and South St. Louis. Since 2017, the city has budgeted $96 million to pay for the project. Now that price tag is over $1 billion. St. Louis Mayor Kara Spencer is now making a turn toward buses instead, which is a cheaper option that could come sooner.
Now that they're pulling it out, they're not just walking away. If they replace it with bus rapid transit, at the end of the day, this is about moving people from A to B. Can people get to their jobs? Can people get to where they need to go without needing to use a car?
Mayor Spencer says a plan will be on the table by the end of the year. It might need your input, as leaders say those plans may need voter approval. A career signed, sealed, and delivered.
I know what the people need.
How a South St. Louis mail carrier's retirement is opening the envelope on issues inside the post office. One more time at the mic, John Mozeliak's parting words as he flies the Cardinals' nest.
In terms of regrets, I don't have any.
Leaves are beginning to change and also drop due to the drought. We'll update that fall foliage, plus why we don't see the need for umbrellas or the heater for the next several days.
A live look at the nation's capital tonight as lawmakers continue to come up with a spending agreement, or trying to avoid a shutdown. We are now just over 24 hours until that deadline. President Trump met with congressional leaders on both sides today to discuss a potential deal. The deadline, 11:59 tomorrow night. Democrats say they're not caving to the GOP bill, saying they want Obamacare subsidies extended. Republicans want Democrats to pass the bill extending funding levels for 7 weeks and negotiate any changes during that time. The last time the government shut down was in President Trump's first term. That turned out to be the longest shutdown in U.S. history.
Missouri could soon ban buying candy and soda with food stamps. Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe sent a request today to the Department of Agriculture to alter Missouri's Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. In a statement, the governor says this will allow Missouri to, quote, refocus our SNAP program to maximize nutritional health for low-income families while also supporting the abundant agricultural output of our state. The request opens a 30-day comment period. The Trump administration has already approved similar waivers for Iowa and Nebraska. OpenAI has rolled out new child safety features for ChatGPT. Parents can now choose a version for their kids that shows less content on dieting, sex, and hate speech. ChatGPT will also send an emergency alert to parents if it detects a child is in mental distress. The changes come as the company faces a wrongful death lawsuit after a teen died by suicide following interactions with the chatbot.
After decades delivering mail and a familiar smile, one St. Louis letter carrier is calling it a career.
Her retirement is leaving a void for neighbors and businesses. New at 10, 5 on your side's Travis Cummings shows how it's also revealing the challenges facing the post office.
Oh, I know him. Hi, Kate.
This stroll in South City is one she'll miss.
There's a couple houses at 2114 Victor here. The door was open. I called the police.
64-year-old Marilyn Krieger, a proud St. Louisan, has been the familiar face on this Benton Park mail route for decades.
Because we used to deliver a lot of mail when I first started.
From newborns to lifelong neighbors, she's delivered letters, packages, and smiles day in and day out. She joined the Postal Service in 1998 and remembers the glory days.
Everybody was respected. There was a camaraderie.
But times have changed. Staffing shortages have led to missed mail, delayed packages, and a stressed workforce, making Marilyn's dedication even more meaningful.
Rain, sleet, and snow, she was out here on that route.
Marilyn wasn't just a carrier. She was part of the neighborhood.
I was 10 or 11 when I first met her, and I'm 32 now.
I know that crazy mail lady. I heard
I know her
TJ's
for
man.
years. She's always been the same. Very energetic, talkative. It's always a good face to see.
She was the kindest to our dogs. They're always kind of crazy and running around, but she never minded and just went up and said hello to them. And then she had a connection with my son, actually, because he was born in 2016, so she's known him ever since.
Her dedication left a mark on residents and businesses alike.
How you doing? Yeah, did you miss me?
Blue City Deli, a must-stop.
Always good gal, and always had our mail. Yeah. Whenever she was here, she did a great job.
But the consistency Marilyn provided is growing rare. Residents like Fred Andres, who has lived in Soulard for 35 years, now report missed bills, late packages, and daily frustration.
Back when we first moved here, we would occasionally get mail switched between here, 1217 rear, and 1217, which is up in front, when we had substitute mail carriers. But since then, it has become virtually every day. I've paid over $100 in late fees, and I had a new credit card which took 21 days to get here. I have been to the Maryville Gardens post office 3 times, and all 3 times I brought a picture from the street showing and labeled clearly that this is 1217 rear and that's the front. And as a result of that, nothing has happened.
Fred's experience matches a recent audit at the Maryville Gardens station, citing repeated delays, lost mail, and overworked staff. For many homes and businesses, delayed and missing mail is the new normal.
Until the beginning of 2002 when my route came open over here.
Marilyn blames staffing, technology, and management.
I got health issues from when I had the heat exhaustions and heat stroke on the job. And it would cause, even in the wintertime when I couldn't go to work, well, they would leave my mail there instead of delivering it.
What do you think the Postal Service needs more of in 2025?
They need more carriers putting input. Ever since I started, they don't ask the carriers. We're out here, as you can see, I'm with the people. I know what the people need.
Marilyn's retirement marks the end of an era.
It's a good job if you work hard at it.
After 27 years, she leaves behind more than letters.
Work hard, do your job, people love you.
But a lesson that reliable mail delivery isn't just a convenience, it's community. Travis Cummings, 5 on your side.
And happy retirement to her. And we have reached out to the post office several times about missing and delayed mail and to tour one of its facilities. We have yet to hear back. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell's here with the weather impact forecast. We have drought-like weather, we have warmer weather, and
won't feel like October when we turn later this week.
No.
And you're talking about the fall foliage?
Yeah, we're heading into fall, but there's really nothing that feels pumpkin spicy at this moment, right? I mean, you're looking at the farm fields, dusty. That's good in a way because this is harvest time. But the problem is we're 4 inches below average since the 1st of August. So we're very dry now. When dry is good for harvesting, but boy, if you've put some plants out, you just bought some mums this weekend at the hardware store, you're gonna have to water those. Look, your dew point temperature is 58 degrees, 74 is the current temperature, there's no wind. Tonight, clear skies, down into the 50s again away from town, low 60s in town. It's a great start for your Tuesday. And if you work outside, yes, it's warm, but it's not humid. We're in the upper 80s for highs. There won't be a whole lot of wind around the area for tomorrow either. And that pretty much holds true for the rest of the week. So again, quite warm, no rain. You won't need the furnace. You won't need an umbrella this week, but you will need to get the garden hose out and water any freshly planted shrubs or mums that you've put out. We do have some rain out to our west here across the high plains, but this system, as it's trying to nudge to the east, basically it's going to nudge a few clouds in here, and that's it. Hurricane Umberto is on a weakening trend to some degree, down to a Category 3 storm, still strong, 115-mile-per-hour winds there. That's going to go to the north and west of Bermuda, but then it's going to pull Imelda, which is a strong tropical storm and becoming a hurricane, we think, tomorrow, in behind it and probably go right over Bermuda as it works its way off towards the east and the northeast. The good news is Bermuda would be the only land area really impacted. Southeast is getting some beach erosion, and that's pretty much it. How about that fall foliage? Colors have been pretty bright out west of Denver. Go up across the northern tier, you have a lot of color. For us, we're just starting to see a little bit of color, especially north and west of St. Louis, but we're also starting to see those leaves drop faster than traditionally would because we've been so warm and dry. 89 degrees is where we're headed for tomorrow afternoon, 85 on Wednesday, but still back in the upper 80s Thursday, and even into the weekend, mid 80s. So maybe this weekend you want to get out and about, maybe take a drive, go up the River Road to Grafton, maybe Pere Marquette. Maybe you're heading out 94 to the wineries in Augusta. Saturday looks bright Beautiful. You'll see at least some color. Sunday, temperatures are going to be in the mid-80s as well. And it looks like it's mostly sunny Sunday as well. And we go into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Maybe a small chance for some showers the middle of next week.
We certainly need it.
We need it, but it's just a small chance right now.
All right. Scott, thanks. Frank is here with sports.
Mike, do we have a Heisman Trophy candidate at Mizzou? John Mozeliak's final Cardinal thoughts. And a few local broadcasters have a chance of winning baseball's highest honor. Stick around, please. He started off his final press conference smiling and saying, "The day has finally come, kids." And John Mozeliak also said he'd love the job, but he knew it was time for a change. And the change is happening in just a 2-day period. Tomorrow, the new president, Chaim Bloom, will have his first press conference. The media room was packed for Mo's presser today. Bill DeWitt gave a glowing review of John's work over the last 30 years with the Cardinals. Things like 15 winning seasons in 18 years, 10 playoffs, and of course, the World Series. Mo had a reflective moment on the future.
There's going to be changes, and there's going to be things done maybe differently than I may have done them, but that doesn't make it right or wrong. But that's the ability to, or the good thing to have that new voice. You know, as I think back at my career and the people you've touched or the people that you were involved in, and there's so many of them, but I feel like when I look back at my career, I hope the impact I made on them was something positive and lasting.
The 10 finalists for the Ford C. Frick Award are in, and there's a decidedly St. Louis flavor to that Baseball Hall of Fame list. One-time Cardinal and Fox network announcer Joe Buck, current radio broadcaster John Rooney, and the late Skip Carey, father of current TV broadcaster Chip Carey and son of Harry. The newest inductee will be announced on December 10th. And let me announce right now that if you picked Devin Achane for your fantasy team, you are brilliant. Monday Night Football, Jets and Dolphins in Miami. Achane was awesome, over 100 total yards and a touchdown. Dolphins beat the Jets 27-21. Speaking of winning, the Mizzou Tigers continue to be on the rise, moving up to 19th in the writers' poll and 18th in the coaches' poll. They'll take the week off before number 10 Alabama comes to Columbia. And who knows, it could be a Heisman Trophy kind of game for Ahmad Hardy. The Mizzou running back leads America in rushing by over 100 yards. If he were to run wild against the Crimson Tide on national TV, how could he not be on the Heisman watch list? He was our guest on Sports Plus last night, and I asked him about being a zero-star running back out of high school with just 2 offers.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of frustrating, but I mean, everything happened for a reason. I believe that God let everything happen for a reason. So I just took it as a motivation and a chip on my shoulder. And ever since that happened, I just been working. And I won't stop working until I accomplish my goal. And even after I accomplish my goal, I'm still going to work.
Ahmad has got to hit the weight room, don't you think? Hey, no matter what you do with your life, if you are the absolute best at what you do, you are going to be rewarded. Marty Prather was the absolute best ever at doing signs at sporting events. So much so, he was enshrined into the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. He passed away yesterday at age 67. We caught up with the man known as the sign guy at the 2006 World Series. Of course, he brought signs, all of them in that distinctive style. He was a longtime season ticket holder and the driver of over 200 miles to get to Busch from his home near Springfield didn't stop him. He first started bringing those signs in 1985.
When the Cardinals won the World Series against the Royals, and then in '87 I started doing them for players, and then they started waving at me. So I got it's a hobby that's out of control. Now I do it for the fist pumps from Roland and Edmonds and X-Time. They always tip my cap, so that's pretty cool.
It really wasn't a big event unless Marty was there with his signs.
Yeah, it was always great to see him. Thanks, Frank.
Well, McDonald's is taking a roll of the dice with a familiar game, the new twist on an old favorite.
And here's a look at the program streaming and late night on 5+. Of course, you can watch for free on your Roku, Apple, Fire, Samsung, or LG TV. McDonald's is once again playing with Monopoly money. For the first time in 10 years, the fast food chain is bringing back its popular Monopoly game. There will be new digital game pieces on their app, along with the classic stickers on food containers. However, you'll need the app to claim your prize, which could range from free food to $1 million. The game starts 1 week from today.
Spirit Halloween is now creeping into the holiday season. A test run last year. After that, the company is expanding its Spirit Christmas pop-up stores to the Midwest. They sell Christmas decorations, inflatable, and gifts, along with pictures with Santa. The closest locations are in the Chicago area. Those 4 locations will open within the next month.
All right, Scott has one final check of our weather impact forecast. How hot is it going to be the next couple of days?
Close to 90 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Again, not a record, nowhere near the records, but still way above average for this time of year. The good news is it doesn't come with humidity. The bad news is we need the humidity to create some rain, and we're not going to get that. So it's a dry rest of the week and into the weekend.
And there you have it. 5 on your side at 10. We're always streaming on 5+.
Be sure to start your day with Today in St. Louis. That starts at 5 a.m. Have a great tomorrow.